Good morning everybody. Today we shall be consulting the wheel of misfortune to see what we're working on today. For the sake of the neighbours, I really hope it doesn't involve a grinder. Ooh. Brakes. Okay. So there's not a whole lot I can do in the brakes, to be honest, because I need to plumb in all the brake lines onto the frame, and I can't do that with the body on. Well, I could, but I'm not jacking it all up to do that. So what I can do, I can install those front calipers that I cleaned up a few weeks ago. That will free up some space in the garage as well, and I can also make sure that those new flex pipes I got actually fit. So let me go and dig out all those parts that are hiding in there somewhere. Back in a sec. So here's my lovely brake parts. Calipers ×2, carriers ×2, brake pads ×4. They are the carrier bolts, and these are the little bolts that attach the calipers to the carriers. Tools required, don't actually need much. When I'm installing these, I'll explain to any novices roughly how a caliper works. Pretty basic actually, quite easy to replace the pads if you need to. So I just need a socket for the little bolts, socket for the big bolts, and that's just for my wheel studs. And also, very important, use some sort of high temperature grease for the brake pads to slip in and out, and also you put a little slither on this section where the caliper pushes against to stop any vibration squeal. Okay, so let's get the wheels off. Well, let's jack it up, axle stands, wheels off, and we'll get stuck in. If you're new to Scott Rod's garage, I should point out that this vehicle did not come with disc brakes or independent front suspension or a aluminum cross member. Okay, it came with leaf springs and drum brakes, so this is a slight upgrade. So let me go through the main components of disc brakes for those of you who have never even touched disc brakes. Most of you have, but let me explain. This is your brake caliper. This particular brake setup has dual pistons, which is pretty good. Some have one big piston, some have four. Some of the sporty type cars, Ferraris and all that, they might have 6 pots. Okay, but this is 2 chunky ones. These came from a Crown Victoria, as did the whole front end, which was used as a police car for many years in North America. So they've got pretty good stopping power. More than enough to stop this old jalopy. This attaches to your caliper carrier, and obviously that's your brake rotor. These are your brake pads. Okay, let me throw it all together. Installing new brakes is way easier than removing old brakes, because everything's loose and ready and good to go. So first thing, before you put on your carrier, remember and put on your rotor. Only a fool would forget to do that. Okay, carrier goes on there, attaches to the hub with 2 chunky bolts like that. These only go on one way, there's no wiggle room. They go on or they don't go on. So don't worry about trying to line that up. And always consult your user manual, repair manual for torque settings for these. You don't want your brakes falling off. This is a good time to make sure you don't have any scraping on your rotor. Normally if you get scraping, it's your dust plate at the back, which is usually made of very mild steel or aluminum, and it can be bent into shape. Mine is fine. Next step, your caliper. Now this is held on with a couple of slide pins like this, which move in and out. These are famous for seizing, so it's always worthwhile to put a little bit of high temperature grease on the slide pins. Some of them have a plastic collar that goes over that, this one doesn't. As you can see, that goes in and out. Okay, caliper. Held on with these little 14mm bolts. Again, these don't need to be mega tight. Consult your torque settings. I'm only going to put the bottom one on for now because I need to install the pads first. Okay. These spring clip type thingies, you get one each on your carriers. And your brake pads will slide on these surfaces, so again, a little bit of grease on there. Try not to get any on your rotor or you'll have to take them off and clean them thoroughly. One at the bottom, one at the top. Bit of grease. Again, don't hit your rotor. And then you're ready to put your pads on. Now, more grease on the back. Where these parts push and where your pistons push against the pads, you just want a bit of a slither there, not too much. Now obviously there's not any sideways movement there, but it does prevent a brake squeal. Hence the gloves. And again, don't get any on that surface there or you won't have any brakes. These can be a bit fiddly to get in. And then you drop them. You know what, I'm going to get a duster. Back in a sec. Okay. Sometimes the clips aren't quite seated properly. There we go. One. A little bit of grease again. This is much easier to do when your car isn't built yet, because obviously I don't have fenders and all sorts of stuff in the way. Ow! These little clips at the top and bottom are quite sharp. Okay. For you old timers and people that have been working in cars your whole life, you don't need to see all this. So in this case, I need to push these pistons back in a little bit. They're just a wee bit too far out for the pads. You don't want to just hammer it. So I will go and grab a G-clamp. If your pistons are in good condition, it shouldn't take a lot of pressure to push them back in. Okay, but the problem is when that one goes in, that one comes out. So I'll get this one in, but then I might need to use a screwdriver or a lever to get the top one in. Just no biggie. Like this. And what you can do is lever it in there. There we go. Right, and then all you need to do is put the top 14mm back in. Again, not mega tight. These are serviceable items, so if you put them in too tight, you'll regret it later. Consult your manual for your torque setting. Lovely. Next, I want to get the cable on. Now, I bought two brand new, flexi pipes. So I bought two, and they are sided, so I need to choose the right one for routing. I'll go and grab that. So I decided just to grab my old torque wrench and get these carrier bolts up. So these get torqued up to 90 foot-pounds, which is actually a fair bit tighter than I had them, so it's worth getting that. There we go. Right, cable. Now, I'm not going to tighten these all the way in case I have to take them off for now, and I don't want to destroy my little banjo bolt brass washers. Oh, come on. Good. So, let's see. That would make sense. I still need to make a bracket so that this can attach somewhere. Now, here's a question. It definitely goes on that way round, but whether or not this is the right one, because this pipe goes round and up, whereas so this one would go round and down. I need to check the numbers, because when I bought this, it didn't have the flex pipes on it, so I just need to look that up. I think it would make more sense for them to come round and up, keep them out the way of any road nonsense. So yeah, it probably goes round there and attaches over there. So I'll tell you what, we'll leave that for now. No point in them just swinging about. I've still got work to do in the cross member anyway. Okay. So that's this side done. I just need to whip the other side on. And I've freed up more space in the garage. Yay! I think these pads that I've put in, these are the old pads, but honestly, they're practically new. You could see me struggling to get the pistons back into the caliper. They're almost all the way in, so I would say that these pads are practically new, so I'm good for that. I'll go into much more detail on the brakes when I plumb in all the pipes in a future episode, but I need to get the body off and I need to get bits and bobs from the store in order to do that. The good news is the stores are starting to reopen, or at least the hardware stores. Presumably that also means the car parts stores as well, which is awesome. Quite a short video today. It's Friday, which means off to Wally World to do the weekly shopping and get munchies and juice and beer that I don't drink, but hey. Right, thanks for watching. As I say, short video, but hey, I'm still here, still working away. So I'll catch you either tomorrow or the next day and see what we're doing. We've still got this snow coming soon, so but from Sunday afternoon onwards, I think it's going to miraculously turn into summer. So please subscribe if you haven't already, hit the little bell icon to be notified of my next video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.